All right. So just getting comfortable on your mat, starting to check in with how your body is feeling today, how your mind's feeling today. I always like to start our practice by encouraging you to move at any point and be still at any point that you want to be still. Maybe using these first few minutes to do a full body scan from your feet all the way up to the crown of your head. Just checking in with how you're feeling today. Maybe closing your eyes if you'd like, shifting your focus inward. And maybe taking these first few minutes to set your intention for your practice. An intention is like a goal. Maybe you have something in mind today. It can be as simple as moving your body, letting go of any stress or anxiety, releasing or relieving any sore muscles or aches or pains. And just being mindful of any places today that might be causing us tension. I invite you to bring your focus to your breath. Noticing maybe where you're feeling the breath today. And then starting to explore that three-part breath. So as we inhale deep from the belly, up into the chest. And as we exhale, releasing from the chest, back down to the belly. Thinking about slowing down your breath, lengthening each inhale and exhale, maybe for a count of 3 or 4. When we can focus on this three-part breath, we naturally start to bring that sense of calm and peace into our minds and into our bodies. Throughout our practice today, I encourage you to find whatever breath option feels best for you as well. Letting go of any expectations, letting go of any competition, and letting go of any judgment. Simply focusing on this present moment, remembering that we are in complete control of our practice, and we have the power to choose whatever options feel best for us today. When you're ready, wherever you are, hands can come to the sides, eyes can be open, closed, or gaze down. All we're going to start to do is inhale, reaching our arms up and overhead, either out to the sides or straight up overhead. Exhaling, bringing the hands down by the sides. Continuing that motion here as we inhale, lengthening our spines, and exhaling, releasing them back down to the mat. Focusing on how our body feels here. Maybe feel the rib cage expand and lift off the mat if we're on our backs. If we're seated, maybe noticing the spine lengthen and rise to the crown of the head. Getting comfortable with this movement pattern, moving with our breath. This is also a great time to check in with how your shoulders are feeling today. Taking 2 more rounds of breath wherever we are. And then on our last exhale, we're going to draw the knees into the chest, grabbing onto our hamstrings. So if we're seated, we can slowly make our way back down to the mat, using our legs as brakes. Knees come into the chest. We can rock side to side, gently massaging our low backs if that feels good. Taking these first few minutes to explore how our back is feeling today, how our hips are feeling today. All of that is interconnected. And then from here, we'll take our arms out to that T position, shoulder blades on the mat. Knees can stay into the chest here, As we exhale, slowly dropping the knees over to the right side, keeping our shoulders on the mat, we can gently let our knees fall to a block if we'd like, or a pillow. With each inhale, we bring our knees back to center, and exhaling, releasing. So we have lots of options here. If it feels better for us, the knees can stay into the chest. If we're wanting to explore a little more heat for our core, we can bring our knees to tabletop, or shins to tabletop, knees over hips. And then as we exhale, we can hover the knees right over the floor. Inhaling, coming back to center, and exhaling, dropping our knees to the side. Maybe starting to feel our oblique muscles here. Starting with some nice, simple, small ranges of motion in our hips and our spine, our low back. Checking in with how that part of our spine is feeling today. When you're ready on your next inhale, we'll bring our knees back to center. Pulling in on our right side under our knee on our hamstring, let's extend our left leg out, letting it rest all the way to the floor. We can roll out our ankle. Start to explore how our right hip is feeling, maybe taking that external and internal rotation. Bringing the right knee back to center. On our next exhale, we'll switch our legs. So left knee comes in, right leg comes out. And just checking how the left side is feeling today. Bringing the right leg back in to meet it, we'll place our feet on the floor in front of us, nice and close to our hips, hands by our sides. As we scoop our belly button in towards our spine, our tailbone lifts, low back presses down on the mat. Inhaling, we press into our feet, lifting our hips up to bridge pose. Exhaling, slowly coming back down. Just moving through our bridge here. Inhaling, we lift, feeling this nice opening through our hip flexors. And exhale, we lower. So getting that extension in our spine here as we begin our warm up for our practice today. Feeling our back body, our glutes, hamstrings, and low back. Powerhouse muscles here. Taking 2 more rounds of your bridge flow. And then when you're ready, meeting me back on the mat, we'll walk our feet to the long edges and slowly just windshield wipe our knees to the right and to the left. Once again, finding some release in our hips and our low back. Maybe noticing if one side feels a little better than the other. Taking 1 more round on each side. And then when we're ready, coming back to center, bringing our knees into our chest, we can roll ourselves up, or we can drop our knees to the side using our arm to press ourselves up. We'll shift our hands to the front of our mat, knees under our hips, feet to the back. Maybe checking in with how our wrists are feeling today as we come into this quadruped position, spreading our fingers on the mat, pressing into that soft part below our thumb, making sure there's some space between the knees. As we move through our cat and cow, starting with our hips, our belly relaxes to the mat, heart lifts, head lifts, inhale. Exhale, chin to chest, rounding through the back, the spine. And just continuing this motion here, inhaling to lift and exhaling to round. We have the option today, and always, if our wrists are bothering us, we can always make fists on our mats. Not sure why, but for me today, my right one doesn't feel so great. Always remembering that each time we move into our physical asanas in our yoga practice, We always want to check in with how our body's doing that day, because each time we practice might feel different than the time before. Taking 2 more rounds of your flow here with your bridge or with your cat-cow. Feeling free to add on anything else that might feel good to it. And then when you're ready, coming back to center, finding that all fours position, pressing our weight into our left hand. We can also put our hand on our block. That's an option here. Right fingertips come to our temples. As we inhale, we open through our thoracic spine. Exhale, right elbow to left elbow. Inhaling to open and lift, and exhaling to bring it across. We also have another option here. If we want to, we can extend that opposite leg, inhaling to open and exhaling to round. Maybe exploring the different options for today. Noticing a little more hip flexor release, psoas release, as we add on our leg. Remembering that we can also keep that fist down on the mat. Option to reach the arm all the way up to the sky and thread it under. We'll take 2 more rounds here of our spinal release. And then coming back to our all fours. Moving to our other side. So if you want your block, you can have it under your right wrist. Inhale, left fingertips to the temple. We open to the left and exhale. Bring the left elbow across. So what this block does is it gives us a little bit more elevation off the ground. We can decide if that feels better for us than coming all the way to the ground. Option here, if you'd like, is to extend your right leg as we open and exhale. Other option is to add on your arm for your thread the needle. Taking 2 more rounds here. And then when you're ready, coming back to center in our all fours, hands and knees. As we inhale, we'll reach our right fingertips out in front of us and extend our left leg behind us. If we want to, our toes can come to the mat, and then we can lift and hover that leg. Shoulder height with the arm and the leg. Exhaling, release. Switching to the other side. So pressing into our right hand, left arm extends, right leg extends, and exhale, release. Just alternating our sides here in our spinal balance, our bird dog. Warming up our muscles from our shoulders to our hips. Feeling free to add on that lateral movement if you'd like, leg and arm out to the side. Lots of options. Still moving with our breath. We'll take 1 more round on each side of our bird dog. Feeling our glutes and our hips. And then coming back to our all fours when we're ready. From here, we might want our block nearby, maybe placing it underneath our right hand once again. Kickstanding our right leg out to the side. As we open, left leg extends to our side plank. Beautiful. From here, if we want to, we can also lift the bottom leg up off the ground. Knowing the block is great here, again, to bring the ground up to us. Feeling our obliques. When we're ready, placing our weight into our left foot, so our back foot. I'm going to join y'all on the same side so that it's easier for everybody online to see as well. So we're in our side plank. We're pressing our whole foot, our whole left foot on the floor. Our right knee is down. As we inhale, we come up into that gate pose. So it's almost like warrior 2 with our knee down. Excellent. Squeezing our glutes here. We inhale, reach our arms straight up to the sky. As we exhale, we slowly lean towards the right. Inhale, coming back to center. Exhaling, hinging to the side. Yes, nice lateral flexion. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, holding here as we lean our body to the right. And then we release the right hand. Rotate, coming back to our all fours. Excellent. We'll move to the other side. So left hand on the block, we kickstand the left leg out and open up to our side plank. Checking to make sure that our knees, our hips, ankles, shoulders, all in the same line, almost as if we were between two panes of glass. From here, we make sure our left knee is on the mat, right foot is on the mat. As we inhale, we come up to find gate pose. So squeezing our glutes here, relaxing our shoulders back and down. Inhaling, palms come together up to the sky. As we exhale, leaning towards the left. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, left. Inhaling and exhaling. One more time here. Inhale, squeezing our glutes, exhaling, holding. Left hand drops to our block or the mat. Right hand drops and we find our all fours. From here, opening our knees to the long edges of the mat, hips toward the heels, finding child's pose. Nice little release. Remembering that this is a great option for rest pose that we can come into at any point in our practice, or any other pose that might feel good for us. Finding our breath here in our child's pose, remembering that we can extend our arms, hands can go behind us, head can come onto the block, whatever feels best. When we're ready, we'll stretch our hands out in front of us, shift our body forward as we inhale, coming to our plank position. Knees on the mat, hips shift forward. Exhaling, we can come down a little bit, elbows in. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, shifting forward. Exhale, option chaturanga, lowering all the way to the mat. Inhaling, pressing back up to our plank, elbows in. Exhale, child's pose. Next option, if you'd like to explore that cobra, exhaling, lowering to the mat, tops of the feet down. Inhale, we press up, hands lift for our baby cobra, squeezing our glutes. Exhale, child's pose. So this is our half series. Go ahead and move through your half series with whichever option you decide. If you'd like to start to explore full cobra, you can. If you'd like to explore your half series from down dog, you also can. It's up to you. Down dog is always an option, just like chaturanga. Moving through your half series and any of those options. And then when you're ready, meeting back in either down dog or child's pose, either option. We'll walk our feet to our hands or step to the top of our mat from child's pose, finding a forward fold on the mat. So hands can come to the shins, the block, softening our knees here, maybe bending them right and left. Shaking our head yes and no, releasing through our neck, our jaw. When we're ready, releasing our hands back to the floor, the shins, the block. As we inhale, we come up, halfway lift, lengthen our spine. Exhale, soften the knees and fold. Inhale, this time reverse swan dive, arms lift to the sky, extended mountain. Exhale, sitting back into chair pose. Weights in the heels. One more chair flow. Inhale to open and lift, and exhale, sinking down. Moving through our full sun salutations. Inhale, we lift. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale, soften and fold. Stepping back to find your down dog or your child's pose. Shifting forward, inhaling to your plank, exhaling with your options, chaturanga or not. Inhaling, we can come up to cobra or back to plank. Exhale, down dog or child's pose. Stepping forward to the top of the mat, exhaling, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Exhale, chair pose. Option to extend the arms out in front of us. Inhaling to lift, exhaling to fold. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, soften and fold. Stepping back to find your plank, knees, toes. Options for your chaturanga or not. Options for cobra or up dog. Down dog or child's pose. Stepping to the top of your mat. Left, right, right, left. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Exhale, chair pose. Let's move through those sun salutations one more time on each side. Remembering your options here. Feeling free to add on anything that might feel good for you today. And omitting anything that might not. All right, so there weren't a lot of birthday song options, so Katy Perry it is. Starting to feel the warmth in our bodies. Once we finish our 2 rounds of our sun salutations, we'll meet back in either down dog or child's pose. Hopefully noticing a different sensation in our bodies, warmer. Down dog or child's pose whenever you're ready, no rush. Finishing out your sun salutation round. Eye gaze shifts to the top of the mat. If we're in child's pose, we'll drop the left knee, or we can come right. So it looks like this. Inhaling right leg high for 3-legged dog or left knee down. Inhale, pull the leg forward and through to find a low lunge. Hands can frame the feet, or we can find our block or 2 blocks if we have one. From here, inhaling, arms to the sky, lengthen the spine. Exhale, right hand reaches down, left arm up and over. Inhale, coming back to center. Exhaling, this time we're opening through the heart. And if you'd like, you can sink down into that low lunge. Inhaling, pressing up. Exhaling, cactus arms, maybe sinking into the stretch. Inhale one more time. Exhale, sink. Releasing the hands to the mat. We lift our left knee off the mat, tuck the toe, finding our high lunge, Anjaneyasana. Hands can come to heart center or float up to the sky. Back heel lifted, hips square to the front. You decide how your shoulders are feeling today. From here, hands at heart center or lifted, either option. We're just going to take a twist over the right shoulder. So we can lengthen the arms out to the side to find our revolved high lunge. Or we can keep our hands in, or one hand on our low back, one hand on our thigh. Whatever feels best. Finding our breath here, core is engaged. From here, we are adding on our arms just to float them up to the sky for our high lunge. Opening to the sun, the baseball field here, finding our 5-pointed star. So heels in, toes out, arms to the sky. As we exhale, we're sinking into sunflower, releasing the hips. Beautiful, you got it. Just moving at your own pace here. Inhale to lift, exhaling into that sumo squat. Feeling the strength in our legs, but also the nice opening and stretch in our hips. Taking one more round here, meeting me back in your 5-pointed star. This time, all we're gonna do is rotate towards the back of our mat. This time, left foot forward, right? Right foot back. We find our high lunge. Yep, you got it. So all of our feet are facing the back of the room or the other side. I'm just facing y'all. If you want to keep facing me and you're participating virtually, you can just switch your feet, right? So left knee soft, right knee soft. Hands can also always come to our heart center. We take a twist this time over the left shoulder. Option to extend the arms out to the sides if that feels good. Feeling the core strength, relaxing the shoulders. Hands can also come in towards our body. Left arm comes back to center. We come back into our high lunge, hands either up to the sky or at heart center. Slowly, when we're ready, we bring our hands down to the mat to find that low lunge. Right knee meets the mat. Inhale, we sweep the arms up to the sky. Exhale, left hand down, right arm up and over. Inhale, coming back to center. Exhaling, we sink into this. So pressing the hips forward, cactus arms. Inhale to lift. Exhale to sink. 2 more rounds of breath here. 1 more round, inhale. Exhaling, pulling the shoulder blades back. We release the hands to the mat, lifting our right knee in our low lunge. We just walk our hands to the long side of the mat, finding that straddle position. If you'd like, you can bend your knees left and right, finding that nice inner thigh stretch or skandasana if you'd like to come all the way down. When you're ready, finding that place of stillness, heels and toes out. Hands can also come to the block to bring the ground up to meet us. Left hand's gonna press into the center of our body or maybe our block. Core muscles engaged as we open through the right side. Right arm lifts to the sky, or the right hand can come to our low back as well. Taking 1 more big inhale, exhaling, release. This time, right hand in the center of our body. Bracing, inhaling, we lift up with the left. Rotating the left shoulder, hand can rest on the hips or up to the sky. Taking 1 more big inhale, exhaling, releasing, bringing both hands back to the center. Option here to walk the hands under if we'd like to deepen this stretch. Maybe our heels press out and our toes come in and our forehead comes closer towards the floor. When you're ready, slowly coming up, walking the hands back to our center. We'll bring our hands towards our right foot, walking back to the front of our mat, stepping our right foot to meet the left, finding down dog or child's pose, an option here to move through your half series. Coming back to child's pose or down dog, just catching our breath here. Taking our eye gaze to the top of our mat, we're stepping our right foot and left foot to meet, finding a forward fold. Hands can come to the blocks, the shins, the floor, whatever feels good. Softening our knees. Inhaling, reverse swan dive, arms lift up to the sky. Exhaling, finding mountain pose. Excellent. Palms to the floor, palms forward, knees soft. From here, we'll bring our big toes to touch. Sliver of light passes through the back, so feet can come close, but not all the way together. Excellent. Inhale, float the arms to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. We sink back into chair pose. This time, noticing our knees coming closer together. Totally normal, totally perfect. Taking a chair twist, so revolved chair here. Right elbow comes across towards our left knee, or right hand can rest on our left thigh and our left hand can rest on our low back. Bracing through our core here, knees might be pressing a little more together. That's what we want. Knees in line. Taking one more inhale. Exhale, coming back to center. Inhaling, we lift tall, arms can sweep up, little release. Exhale, sink back into your chair. Moving to our other side here. So this time, left elbow comes across, either across the thigh or hand on the thigh, hand on the low back. We can always come up or sink down into this as much as we'd like. Finding our breath here, maybe a little shaky in the legs, embracing that. Taking one more inhale, exhaling, we come back to center. Inhaling, we lift. Exhaling, opening to find mountain pose. So spreading our feet on our mats. Excellent. Moving into a balanced pose for today. Shifting our weight into our right foot. We have lots of options. We're going to take our left hand out to our side. Bend our left knee. Inhale, reach that right arm up to the sky. From here, we reach down with the left hand to grab the ankle. You have lots of options inside the ankle or outside the ankle. You decide. Bracing through the core, we slowly press the leg back behind us. Reaching up to the sky with the foot, finding dancer pose. Now the goal here is to keep the head above the heart, the chest lifted. Always we can come back to this pose right here, finding our balance. It's a nice quad stretch. Squeezing the glute. One more round of breath. Inhaling and exhaling, slowly coming out of it, releasing that foot. I know we haven't done that one in a while, right? Shake it all out, y'all. Switching to the other side. Moving on to shifting our weight to our left. Right arm comes out to the side, left arm sweeps up. We can bend this knee, grabbing here. I personally like to grab the outside of the ankle versus the inside because that rotates the shoulder. So if you have any sensitive shoulder things going on, just be mindful of that. Slowly, when we're ready, we press the right leg back behind us, press the heel. It helps here to think about squeezing through the glute. So squeezing through the right glute, making sure that our hips are still squared towards the front. Finding our breath. Pressing into the hand is going to help as well. So think pressing, that's going to help you with your balance. Taking one more inhale. Exhaling, slowly coming up and releasing. Excellent. Shaking it all out. Y'all did awesome. Inhale, let's sweep our arms up to the sky. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. From here, a little glute release. Softening your left knee. All we're going to do is shift our body towards our left knee. Hand can come onto the block if that feels good, or it can reach all the way to the floor. And we slowly reach up with that left arm. Left hand can also come to the low back. So the weight shifts into the right foot. We're just softening the left knee. And then we'll switch, releasing the left hand, bending our right knee. Slowly, we twist to the right arm sky or to our low back. So that dancer pose gives a great amount of extension work in our spine, which I know we did a lot of last week as well, all of that heart opening. Releasing the right hand to the mat, we'll step back to find our down dog or child's pose. Gathering our breath. Taking maybe a half series here if you'd like. This is going to be our last down dog of the day. So feel free to take anything here from your down dog that you'd like. And then when you're ready, we'll meet in child's pose. Catching your breath here, maybe releasing through your hips. And when you're ready, slowly lifting your gaze, your chest, walking yourself up, shifting around. We'll extend our left leg out in front of us, keeping our right knee into the chest, using it as a break as we lower down. From here, bending our left knee, bringing it in towards our hips, flat on the floor in front of us. We flex our right foot, cross it over the left thigh to find that supine figure 4. We can stay right here, or we can place our foot on our block. So as we elevate our hips, we can get deeper into the stretch, or we can reach for our left thigh. Lots of options here. Stretching deep into the glutes, the piriformis. So getting the same benefits here that we would get with pigeon pose. When you're ready from here, releasing the foot off the block if it's there, all we're going to do is let our knees fall over to the left side. Arms can come out into that T position again, finding our spinal twist from our figure 4. At any time, if we're like, oh, this doesn't feel good, we can uncross the legs, keep both knees on our mat, or we can find our block as well. When you're ready, we'll slowly uncross our legs, bring our knees back to center, maybe rock side to side, releasing through the hips. When we're ready, our right foot comes to the floor, left knee, we flex through the left foot, cross it over the right thigh for figure 4 stretch on the other side. Option to pull the right knee in, or place our foot on our block. When you're ready, we'll slowly take our arms back out to the side, dropping our knees over to the right side this time. Option to let the foot rest on the block, let the knees uncross, let the knees rest on the block, whatever feels good. When you're ready, we'll uncross our legs, slowly bring the knees back to center, taking any last poses that we'd like to explore for today. Maybe a little spinal release, rocking from side to side. Whatever our bodies or minds are wanting for these last few minutes of our practice. And then whenever you're ready, we'll meet in our favorite rest pose. Maybe that's Shavasana. If we'd like, our legs can be extended on the mat. We can also keep the knees in, feet on the mat, feet together. We can lay on our sides, on our bellies, whatever position feels best for us today. Maybe bringing our focus back to our breath. Maybe closing our eyes again, shifting that focus inward. Maybe remembering our intention that we set at the beginning of our practice. Taking these last few minutes for whatever it is that you need. Starting to wiggle our fingers and toes, maybe just bringing some awareness back into our bodies and our space. Whenever we're ready, you're welcome to bring your knees into your chest, rolling over onto your favorite side, using your arm as a pillow. And then coming back to a seated position whenever you're ready. Sitting up nice and tall. We'll inhale one more time together, reaching our arms all the way up to the sky. Exhaling, bringing our hands into our heart center. We end our practice together by saying something that simply means I honor, see, and observe the light in each and every one of you. It is also within me. Namaste. Thank y'all so much for practicing with me today. I look forward to seeing you next week.